Hello, this is JinSwords bringing you another Wi-Fi battle. This is a battle versus Link Lord. And looking at the teams, it's pretty obvious he has a more stally team. Maybe Trick Room from Bronzong's Cavalier. But he really doesn't have too many offensive Pokemon outside of the Escavalier and Gardevoir being two offensive Pokemon, one physical, one special. But he has a lot of weaknesses to Bug in his Umbreon, Whimsicott, and Gardevoir, and only one resist, being Escavalier. But outside of that, it's pretty balanced. I mean, it's not like you should see Bug anywhere. So, yeah. So, I can get the Stealth Rocks up and other shenanigans up, and he can't spin him away. He has no spinner, which could be a problem for him. He definitely should have a spinner, because most doll teams should have a spinner and a ghost type to block spinners. As I have Stealth Rockers, I have a Spikes and Tox Spikes at Roserade, and I have a ghost type in Chandelure. So, that's maybe some improvements for his team, and as you can look at the title of the video, this is a video of why Heracross should be Uber! Alright, Heracross, screw you, screw OU, right down to Uber. It should be banned in Uber. That is how good it is. Alright, now let's get right into the battle. Alright, so I'm going to lead off with my Gligar, as my opponent is going to lead off with his Bronzong, and I saw his team. I knew he was going to lead off with the Bronzong. It was pretty obvious, so I'm just thinking, come on, do I have a Taunter? Do I have a Taunter? Do I have a Taunter? And it turns out I have my Gligar, which I had chosen, and this Gligar was meant to have knockoff instead of taunt. With Nimpoleon, they're supposed to both have knockoff, knock everyone else's items off, and all that good stuff. But I'm gonna taunt. It works in this case. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Stealth Rocks, and Night Beams in his Whimsicott. I should have taunted here, because as you'll find out later, he has no attacking moves. He is 100% physical. But knowing I got my Stealth Rocks up, and he has a substitute up. Well, I didn't know that before taking that turn. Alright, let me just start that over. I go for a U-turn, just to get some damage off. Super effective. Probably do at least 30% or something. And I get a switch in depending on what he does. I'll be able to play to that without hard switching. Because hard switching goes before everything else. U-turn, I get to see everything happen before it happens. This Gligar has no speed investment. I see the substitute. Turns out I actually break the substitute, so that's good. And I go into Roserade. He sets up another substitute as I go for Toxic Spikes. And now, I was fearing the taunt. Taunt was pretty obvious too. But I decided to stay in and try to go for Toxic Spikes again anyways. And I didn't get to do my second layer of Toxic Spikes because he went for the taunt. Although that second layer is really not going to matter too much in the battle. Even though it could have... I mean, Suicune I would definitely prefer Badly Poisoned on Suicune. Umbreon, those things might want to stay in for a long time. I don't want them to stay in for a long time. Umbreon, especially with Wish, can get really ugly. But now I'm going to hard switch out into my MVP as he goes for a what did he go for? Oh, he goes for Encore. So, which failed because I didn't make a move. I switched into Ambipom. And now we see his the lead sheet, which isn't going to do anything because I did go for a U-turn, which did break the sub. So that was his fourth move right there, and he had lead sheet, Encore, taunt, and substitute, so he had no offensive move. Now going to Chandelure, because I knew I could scare him out, and since I knew that he had walls on his team to take it, I was so close to going for Energy Ball, but just in case he decided to stay and go for substitute to scout out what I was going to do, I went for Shadow Ball, because I knew if he went for sub, and I broke it with Shadow Ball, another Shadow Ball would be able to take him out. So, I'm gonna go for, he's in Suicune, I go for Shadow Ball on it, and this does a very good chunk to Suicune, considering how specially bulky this thing is. That is why you don't mess with Chandelure. the highest base special attack of all non-legendary Pokemon. This thing should be OU. OU. No way this thing is UU. A lot of these UU Pokemon should be OU. This thing, Darmanitan. Screw OU. Heracross should be in Ubers. Oh, I got right back to that. Goes in Umbreon. I'm not going to overpredict. It's still early in the battle, so I go for Shadow Ball. It's not going to do too much. But damage is damage, and it's not like he's going to be recovering it back up from leftovers, because even though he's getting recovered back from with leftovers, the poison is going to be doing more damage to him than the leftovers is recovering. So pretty much all damage is free damage. And obviously not want to stay in, I want to switch out, hopefully, and I was hoping that he didn't have Pursuit, that he had Foul Play, but I don't really know. He goes for Heal Bell. We never really find out. So you're probably thinking, is this the time where Heracross sweeps? And I'll tell you right now. Heracross is going to go for Mega Horn. I could have gone for Close Combat. I almost went for Close Combat. Excuse me. But then I remembered, oh wait, he is Gardevoir. And he's Stall Team, therefore Gardevoir is probably going to be bulky. Maybe defensively bulk could be to supplement its very good specialty bulk. But either way, I go for Mega Horn and Bronzong. It does about 50%. A little less, probably. Seeing as with Mega Horn and Stealth Rock's damage, and then Leftover Recovery, which basically negated the Stealth Rock, he was still at green. So, which means it did less than, Mega Horn did less than half. So, I'm going to go to Chandelure. So, that was not actually the Heracross sweep. And Bronzong is going to go for Light Screen, but Beast. Chandelure's a beast. Light Screen ain't stopping a Chandelure. Modest max special attack Fire Blast. Super effective on a Bronzong. Light Screen ain't touching that shit. So that is one wall down. Only 5 more walls to go. He's running Scavalier. I mean, this thing does get Pursuit. So if I switched out, I know I would die. So, I was just hoping that if I stayed in, that I would live the Pursuit, and it turns out I do, and I kick that thing's ass with a Fire Blast. And that is 2 very defensive Pokemon down. Only 4 more to go. And as you can see, that Fire Blast completely and utterly annihilates Escavalier, who has very good natural defenses, base 105 defense and 105 special defense. Brings in a Gardevoir. I'm not sure how much this can do. I honestly don't care. I don't really need Chandelure at this point, so I'm just going to try to get damage off. I mean, it was really kind of stupid. He went, I mean, I didn't even see the trace. I wasn't paying attention too much. He goes for Will-O-Wisp. He gives me the Flash Fire boost. So I'm like, so I actually write while I was chatting to him, thanks. And they go for Fire Blast. Next thing I look, Gardevoir is taking no damage. I'm thinking, oh, lucky bastard. I missed. I didn't even see the trace, Flash Fire, all that good stuff, and he's just gonna go for Cycling and take me out. And I actually stayed and went for another Fire Blast, because I did not see the Flash Fire. I thought it was just a miss or something. So, now here's the part where Choice Scarf Heracross with Moxie is a beast. Twisted Dimensions return back to normal. I saw that. I'm gonna go into Heracross. And just completely annihilate his 4 remaining walls with a Mega Horn. Alright, this is why Heracross should not be UU. It should not be OU. It should be Uber. I mean, screw OU. Who cares about OU? This thing's too good for UU, too good for OU, too good for Ubers. I mean, you might be saying, oh wait, there are multiple Mox Pokemon. Pinsir, not as good, not a fighting type. It does get close combat, doesn't get stabbed, doesn't get any good powerful bug type moves, aka Mega Horn. Or you could be saying Salamence. I mean, this thing's faster than Heracross, has higher attack than Heracross, has a very wide move pool. And it gets Moxie. And you know what I say to that? And it's a Dragon type, it gets Dragon Claw, Outrage, only Steel type resistant. You know what I say to that? Yeah, fuck that. There are things called Steel types. And those Steel types are always really bulky. And they're always Steel types in OU. Alright? And that's the reason why Salamence is not as good. I mean, you put Earthquake on it, you put Fire Blast on it, whatever. What the hell. But there's a thing called Skarmory and Heatran, which, while both those things one of those things. And, I mean, Salamence doesn't really work, because there are things that outspeed us, say Weavile, and other Choice Scarf dragons, which are running everywhere, including Hydreigon, often Latios. Latios is faster than it naturally anyways, so is Latios. Because Salamence just isn't fast enough without a Choice Scarf. And if it has a Choice Scarf, your opponent probably has something to tank, not Salamence. But Heracross, fighting in Bug, it's quite easy to take down the opponent's walls, because the only thing that really stops Bug is fighting and Ghost and Fire and Poison and lots of things, actually. But, alright, Heracross is too good for OU, too good for UU, too good for NURU, and which is also called LU, too good for PU, too good for fucking Ubers, alright? So, that's why Heracross should be banned. It's just too good. And so, alright, rate, wish me to press the like button, comment, subscribe, and see y'all later, YouTube.